everyone. Welcome back to the Make Your Impact Global Summit. I am your host, Danielle Fitzpatrick-Clark, and today I have another amazing speaker. As a therapist turned business coach, Loren Fogelman, founder of BusinessSuccessSolution.com, helps fix the things that are like getting stuck, avoiding mistakes, struggling with the slow growth that can be frustrating when you're on a mission to make an impact. She is an internationally recognized success expert and has developed a 5-step blueprint for entrepreneurs to go from mild success to wild success. She is also the author of The Winning Point: How to Master the Mindset of Champions, which is an Amazon #1 bestseller. Recognized as a high performance consultant by the LA Times, Loren helps motivate entrepreneurs to grow along with their business, consistently achieving milestones they previously only dreamed were possible. Oh, this is so exciting, Loren. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, absolutely, Danielle, and really honored to be part of the Make Your Impact Global Summit. I know that summits can change people's lives, so thank you for offering this.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, they've changed my life. I've been working in the industry for a while and just recently started hosting. So, it's such a great asset to your marketing.
Absolutely. And just to tell you, my experience actually with summits is when I was first looking to change from being a therapist, where I was working side by side with my husband, Steve, for 12 years and felt that calling to move in a different direction, had absolutely no idea what that meant or where I was going. It was a summit that I registered for. I listened to all the speakers, and I was looking for someone that was going to help mentor me in that next move, even though I had no idea what that move was going to be. I found my mentor, joined her high-level mastermind group, and that was just the shift from being a therapist into being a business coach. Once again, summits have the capacity to really change a person's life, and I know that this one is going to make a difference.
Oh, that's so great. Yeah, well, I mean, the whole theme of this is to make an impact and how to spread the word and get visible. So I really appreciate you joining me today. So tell me, what are you up to?
Well, one of the things that I love to do is really to help those growth-minded entrepreneurs who have that mission, have that purpose. They know exactly how they're meant to serve, but they get in their own way sometimes. They get stuck, and they end up working so hard that it drains the life out of them instead of really supporting their lifestyle. So what I have found, Danielle, is ways to be able to get out of your own way and to really serve with purpose and to have your business be profitable for you. What I ended up developing was 5 steps on how to be able to achieve that result. And the first one has to do with crafting your vision. What is it that you absolutely want to do? You can see yourself doing it, and it inspires you. And really connecting with that vision and that purpose is the first step. The second one is to recognize that we have to clear the clutter. Stuff comes up, we get in our own way. It is the reason why so many heart-centered entrepreneurs end up quitting too soon, is because they feel like they're fighting and they're struggling and it's tough. And it just drains their energy. So to be able to shift it around so they're rising up to the challenge and really growing into that bigger version of themselves instead of getting in their own way, feeling stuck, and then quitting and going back to something comfortable, but not necessarily aligned with their purpose or inspiring. The third step is looking at the fact that confidence is overrated. We are told that we're supposed to be confident, we're supposed to be doing these things confidently, and that is not what happens for the top 1% of successful people. They're not confident all the time. Instead, what you want to do is tap into that courage to take action, even though you might be stepping out of your comfort zone. And a way to be able to think about that courage is looking at, if you have a family member that is stuck in a burning house and the front door is locked, you're not going to just walk away and say, I can't do this. You're going to find any way to get into that burning house and help that family member get to safety, whether it's looking at a window on the second floor or going through the basement door or whatever it is. You're going to do whatever is possible. You're not going to think about, am I confident to do this or not? You're going to just go for it.
Yeah.
So really, confidence is overrated, and to find the courage to take action, even though it's uncomfortable. That's the third step. The fourth one is controlling your agenda. We are all busy people. I totally get that. But I've seen many entrepreneurs who are overly busy, but the things that they're busy with isn't going to be the things that are game-changing and really making that impact or having that influence. So let's go ahead and clear the clutter. Have you focusing on the things that are really connected to your areas of brilliance, your strengths, and get rid of the things that you struggle at. So control your agenda is number 4. And the 5th one is create your dream team. Think about the people you're surrounding yourself with. Are they people who lift you up, or do they keep you stuck where you are? And find the people who lift you up. They get what you're doing. Also, that surround yourself with people that can support you and they play at what you struggle at. So the 5 steps are: craft your vision, clear the clutter, recognize confidence is overrated, control your agenda, and create your dream team.
Oh, you just gave us some really juicy things to talk about, and I want to dig just a little deeper.
Yay!
I love that you brought that all out. I'm like, oh, now we can play. Now we can play with that. So, okay, so I want to talk about confidence and how it's overrated, because this is something that when people I've met, colleagues and even clients, they're like, I don't know if I can do this, but you gave such a beautiful visual of what you can focus on. So, and I really do think that all of our experiences make us, and those ones that make us vulnerable are actually, they're not weakness. They're actually something that's going to lift you up and help you serve others. So would you mind speaking to that a little bit about how, it is overrated to be confident, and then there are opportunities to bring in some vulnerabilities?
Sure. Well, I have found for myself, because what has happened to me has happened to my clients, has happened to the people that you know also, is in order to really have a successful business means the person you are today is not the person who's going to achieve that next level of success. Step into that vision that we have for ourselves. We have to grow into it. So an area of vulnerability for me is when I first shifted from being a therapist into business coaching, I saw the power of video, what we're doing right now. And I stalled for probably 4 months or so wanting to do it, thinking about it, and I couldn't get myself to actually do it. And it finally got to the point where I knew it was draining my energy by wanting to do something and holding myself back. And it was at that point that I was able to figure out how to do it. So when we get in our own way, it's not because we don't want to do something, it's because we don't know how to do something in a way that's genuine and authentic for us. And so once you have that clarity, then that resistance moves away. It just melts away. It's liberating. And you're able to move forward where you'd been stuck up until then. And the thing that got me to really do the video was that I really am on this mission. I want to really help people to move forward. I want them to achieve their full potential. I don't want them to be wondering for the rest of their lives, what if, because they overthought something and that opportunity disappeared that could have been a game-changing experience for them. So I had to be able to rethink how to approach video so that it was really coming from a place of service and it wasn't about me. And once I was able to connect with that reason for doing it, then I started doing it. And Danielle, those first videos are bad. They're ugly. And let me tell you something that's really interesting is one of my clients is an internet marketer. He went and he knows how to find all the stuff about me on Google. So he saw all my bad videos because I still had them up on YouTube.
Yeah.
And he was able to see how my videos had progressed and changed over time to where they are now. And because he saw that evolution in my videos, that gave him purpose that I'm doing my own work. I'm not just a talking head. I walk my talk. I continue to grow, learn, get out of my own way, try new things, and move forward. And that helped him know that I was the right person for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're authentic, right?
Absolutely.
You kept those bad ones right up on YouTube.
Oh my gosh,
No
they're really, really
apology.
bad.
I have some bad ones too. My first, it's funny because I remember, and this wasn't that long ago, why I put off hosting Summits for so long was because I was afraid to get on video because, man, you totally mess with your head when you're putting up that blog and like, I'm going to do it. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it and I'm going to not do it. And video was tough. Like I found every reason not to do it, every reason not to.
But it's a game changer. I mean, look at what you're doing now because of the fact that you were able to get out of your own way and you connected with your why as opposed to letting your ego keep you small.
Yeah. Well, it is important because we do get in our own heads all the time. I mean, as a therapist, you probably saw that all the time, didn't you?
Oh my gosh, I still see it now. But the thing is that it doesn't just happen to my clients, it happens to me also. As I continue to move forward, stretching myself to things that I'd never done before. Yeah. And it's why I continue to work with a business coach also, Danielle, is because I have seen for myself that as I continue to move forward and grow, there's things that come up I just haven't done before. And trying to figure it out myself leads to frustration. It costs me a lot of time trying to figure out something that somebody else already has the answers to. And as a result of that, opportunities pass me by, so it's costing me money as well. So I've realized that continuing to work with a business coach for me is an investment. I make more money because I'm moving forward at a faster rate because I have her support than in spite of it. It's not a cost. It is absolutely an investment.
That's a great way to look at it because because essentially you're investing in yourself. Not so much a coach. You're not, yes, you technically are giving a coach money, but really you're investing in yourself so that you can move forward. It's really beautiful what you're saying.
And that's an important point I just want to really highlight for anybody listening is that, yes, you can get new equipment and you can get the latest technology and all that shiny stuff. Those are really wonderful things to have. However, as an entrepreneur, you are the best investment that you can make in your business. So really look at how you need to invest in yourself in order to really achieve that level of success and to lift your clients along with you, up with you.
Yeah. Well, you also made an interesting point that I want to just rewind just a quick second.
Please.
And you talked about stretching yourself and how important that was. Now, I'm just going to ask you, did you feel uncomfortable stretching yourself?
Well, actually, as I was shifting from being a therapist into being a business coach, I also became a competitive rower. And so I was doing these two new things at the same time. I was stretching myself on many, many different levels and getting in my own way all the time. What I recognized was that if it's uncomfortable, then I ought to be doing it. Once I had that clarity, Danielle, that was a game changer because suddenly the things that were uncomfortable and all of a sudden the resistance to the blocks were coming up, I recognized that these were growth opportunities and to really lean into it instead of resisting it. And leaning into it is a whole shift in how you approach something that you had never done before and really feels uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, this is an important point because a lot of people are just like, I know that being uncomfortable is part of the growing process, but I still want to be comfortable in being uncomfortable.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. That's an illusion. And the bottom line is if you want to have the look good all the time, you never want to make a mistake, you are afraid of disappointing people, what people are going to say, then you are going to continue to play small instead of getting out there in a bigger way and really serving in the way that you're supposed to and meant to.
Yeah, that's a beautiful point. That's a beautiful point. Well said. I love that. Okay, so we talked about vulnerability and the comfort zone and stepping outside of it. I truly believe that being uncomfortable is just a sign that I'm in the right direction. I
Mhm.
really do. I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel good at all. Like, I'm going to go for it because it's probably the right thing to do. Every time it's the right
Absolutely.
thing. Okay, so we had some more points that I wanted to highlight a little bit. And one of them was, when you're talking about building your dream team and about surrounding yourself with people who lift you up. Now, I know that sometimes that can be challenging as you're on your way up because sometimes your
Mhm.
relationships change. Your relationships change. So can you speak to why it's important to support yourself by bringing in supportive people?
Yes. The first thing I want to say about relationships is my husband, Steve, has this great quote
Mhm.
that is absolutely brilliant. He says that you measure growth by the people you leave behind.
Mm.
And it's not that you leave them behind because you don't like them or you don't care for them any longer, but they're holding you back from really stepping up into your purpose and
Mm.
what you're meant to be doing in this lifetime. What I have found is that there are so many people that we surround ourselves with, and the people that are negative, that question what I want to do, that say, who are you to be doing that, charging that, moving that direction, taking that lead? They're the ones that are holding me back for two reasons. One is because their belief system
Mhm.
doesn't think it's possible.
Mhm.
So their belief system is butting heads with what I believe is possible.
Yeah.
The other thing is that having them watch me possibly have a mistake or failing is uncomfortable for them.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
We keep people from moving forward, or we rescue them too soon because we don't want to see them struggle and get frustrated or get disappointed, because watching that person go through that is uncomfortable for us. So
Mm.
we keep them in a safer place because we don't want to have to deal with that discomfort. Uh, so when you're having someone play, encouraging
Mm.
someone not to play big and to give up too soon, it's
Mm.
a very selfish thing that we're doing.
Mm.
And when you are rescuing someone from their own frustration, that's a very selfish thing also. You want to then look at who are the people who are playing bigger and can really lift you up because they believe in you. They might not be the people who are closest to you now, but they understand it because they're doing it as well, or they're the
Mm.
people that can give you evidence that it's possible.
Mm.
So find those people, surround yourselves around them, because you're going to get a different way of looking at things than if you surround yourself with the people who don't get it and play small.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that's such a
Mm.
wonderful point, and it really speaks to the tagline of this event, which is "Stop playing small, start living large." So, I love that you're speaking to this, and sometimes we don't even realize that we've surrounded ourselves with people who do that. So, how do you recognize someone who is taking on that, maybe a protective role or helping keeping, not that they're keeping you playing small, but you're still playing small because of who you're surrounding yourself with? How do you recognize that?
Well, first you have to want to recognize that. Let's
Uh-huh.
just go there.
Yeah.
Uh, because it's easy to have unhealthy relationships.
Mm.
And to recognize that when you have something that might be a vision and this other person is questioning it, they have doubts about it, they can't support you in the way that you needed to be supported,
Yeah.
then that's something to take as far as a red flag. One of the things that I know about every single person that's listening to this is that
Hmm.
they've had red flags about a certain person in their lives, and they chose to ignore it,
Mm.
to disregard it, to minimize it, saying, oh, that's just a one-time thing.
Yeah.
That's not who that person really is. Uh, when those red flags come up, they're worth paying attention to
Mm.
instead of disregarding, minimizing, or writing them off. And if you continue to do that with one person, you're probably doing that with other people in your life too.
Yeah.
There's a pattern there. So it's not about these other people in our lives, it's
No.
about us. This
Yes.
has nothing to do with them. This is a growth opportunity for you to look at who you're surrounding yourself with. And if these people are doing it for you, you're probably doing something similar to other people as well.
Or yourself. Or
Oh,
yourself.
absolutely. Thank you. Yes.
It's so true because there's a comfort in staying
Hmm.
small.
Yes.
And I say that knowing it
And,
for myself.
and Danielle, this type of work, could you do it yourself? Absolutely. But if you're really on that fast track to growth and you're connected to your purpose, then find someone that can help you through it
Yeah.
and partner with you, as opposed to thinking that you have to do this yourself because it's uncomfortable sharing this with somebody else. You need a mentor, you need a confidant, you need
Yeah.
someone who has already walked through it and can help you move to that higher version of yourself.
And the next question that's coming to me is just like, I've been stuck playing small for so long. I've had it. I've had enough. Where do I find these supportive people? Where do I look? How do I find the right person or right grouping of people to help lift me up?
The first thing is you have to make a decision that that's work that you're ready to do.
Yeah.
It starts with a decision because there's a difference between the people who are interested versus committed. The ones who are interested are only going to do what's convenient. And then once again, when they're out of their comfort zone, they're going to retreat back to what is familiar and they already know how to do. The ones who are truly committed are going to do whatever is necessary, no matter what. So how do you find someone? You have just brought together amazing experts here. If
Mm,
someone is listening and they're ready to do the work, listen to the experts. Find who you resonate with, whether it's you or one of your guest experts, and take action to really connect more deeply with that particular person.
mm,
So this is a great place to start, is the summit that you're giving right here. Look for that. That's what happened to me. That was my story. I was searching and looking. It was a summit where I found my first mentor, and not knowing that person at all and then starting to learn from that person, I recognized she had already achieved what I wanted for myself. And it was so uncomfortable making that high level investment into a mastermind group.
mm-hmm,
However, it changed the entire course of my life, and it was the best investment I ever made. And I continue to invest in that because it serves a purpose.
mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really good point. And something else that I've noticed for myself is when I meet someone who inspires me, I feel like really expansive, like there are no limitations.
Mhm.
And that's something to follow through with.
Absolutely. However, that is a growth process right there because we can see someone who's on the fast track, they're rising up, they're starting to get recognition, and it's easy to go to envy. How come that
Ah,
person is achieving that level of success and I'm here still struggling, trying to make a go at it? I haven't gotten my first client yet. I want to raise my rates, but I'm so scared that they'll leave me. They won't pay those rates. So we get in our own way and we go to envy. But what you want to do is look at that person who's achieved that level of success and look at them as evidence that if they could do it, it's possible for you as well. So
mm.
shift from envy and go to evidence.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I haven't touched on that one either because that's true. You see it all the time. You can tell when somebody's envious, just
Mhm.
on like Facebook, for example.
Sure. Absolutely. It can come up on Facebook. It
Yeah,
can come up listening to the different experts on this summit.
yeah,
You're looking at them like, oh my gosh, I so much would love to be a guest expert. How did they do that?
yeah,
And to recognize that at one point I had that desire as well.
yeah,
But I took the specific actions to be able to make it happen at some point.
yeah.
So those people were evidence for me that if they could do it, I could do it too.
So you shifted your perspective almost, like instead of being just like, oh, I want to do that, or oh, how did they do that? You were more of, I want that for myself.
Yes, and Danielle, let's just have that transparent moment. Do I sometimes go to envy? Absolutely.
We all do.
It's not like I have cracked the code fully yet on that one. However, once I recognize that that's happened, I can then choose to shift it over to evidence.
Yeah.
Not stay stuck there. Now, sometimes I go right to evidence, and that's a beautiful thing when it happens, but it doesn't happen all the time, you know.
You gotta see the green, the envy, and it's like, oh, you're there. Okay.
It's a process. But when I sometimes go to envy, I recognize it, and then I can shift it. But the other thing is that Steve is a beautiful man, and when I talk to him and the envy is coming out, he's a great reminder of really shifting over to the evidence side of it as well. So I so love and appreciate him for being that person for me.
Oh, that's so wonderful. He sounds like a very grounded energy too.
Absolutely. I am absolutely the person that's the visionary, and he is my grounding force. And I have found that those partnerships are the best partnerships, whether they are business or life partners.
Yeah, and then when you can intermix the two, I mean.
Well, we've worked side by side since 1986, and we still love each other. So.
We should put you on summits on how to make marriage work. That's amazing. But you are speaking to, I mean, we've been talking about relationships and how your partner in life, how important it is to be able to play that role as a teammate. My husband's a consultant, so, and it's a very costly MBA that he got. I'm like, I actually am so glad because you're my consultant now.
There you go.
But
it's not always that beautiful with partners in the beginning. In the beginning, when I wanted to make that high level investment, and he couldn't see it, he's like, "We can't afford to do that." And we had a conversation, and my response to him is, "Do you believe in me?"
Yeah.
And once we were able to take it to that level, he's like, "You know what? Absolutely, please go ahead and do that."
Yeah.
Now, will that be that way for everybody listening here? No, it's not going to be, but I'm really fortunate that it was for me.
Okay, so that is beautiful. That is, and it is rare. I remember when my husband wanted to go to the MBA, and I saw how much it was going to cost. I'm like, what?
Right.
Are you nuts?
Yeah.
But I chose to believe in him, and we went on that. And now it's, and we've shifted. So now it's my turn to kind of step in, invest in myself. And so because I invested in him and I said, I believe in you, it's very much easy for him to invest in me. So, so let's talk to those people who may not have that. What would you say to them? I'm putting you on the spot.
No, that's okay. I'm thinking about what's coming up. Is that I fully believe that any negative can be turned into a positive. That is really the first thing. And that what I have seen with my clients or in those situations is this is really about two conflicting values at this point. A party that's wanting to step forward and a party of you that's also invested in the relationship and doesn't want to create conflict. So I will say, even though it looks like an obstacle at the beginning, how can you turn that obstacle into an opportunity? If there's something you're meant to serve, then you need to shift in some way so that you can step into it. It is possible. It just might not be that the obvious opportunity is the one that you ought to be taking. It might be more that that's evidence that you ought to be moving forward, but just not in this particular way. What I would say is the game-changing opportunities tend to be ill-timed. So you have other things on your plate already. They're inconvenient. You have to shift priorities around, or maybe grow in some way, or look at something in a different perspective than what you thought was going to happen. And they also come in a different form than you expected. It might be that you thought working with Mary was going to be the way to move forward, and she had all these opportunities and she was already working with the people that you wanted to, but it didn't work out. And then here you have Cindy over in left field, kind of giving you an opportunity, but you never saw her as a player. You discounted her, but she's the one that's opening up a door for you. So a lot of times the opportunities come in a different form than we expect. So once again, if it's ill-timed, it's inconvenient and coming in a different form than you expect, then those are the game-changing opportunities and the ones absolutely to pay attention to.
Oh, beautifully said. I love that. And there's an essence of going a little more with the flow. It's almost like when blocks do come up, what you're saying is to just take a look at it.
Well, you're going into failure now, and I will let you know that the biggest breakthroughs for myself, as well as the people I work more closely with, my clients, you have to be willing to fail in order to succeed. And the biggest opportunities come because something didn't work out as you anticipated. It failed in some way. So it's definitely about shifting your perspective as opposed to being caught up in this was supposed to happen and this is a failure and my life sucks.
But it's okay if you take a moment to have your hissy fit, right?
Oh, absolutely. However, make it temporary. Don't let it be something that defines you, because too often what I've seen with people, especially when we have this bigger vision and we tend to be perfectionists or overachievers, is when something doesn't work out as planned, it's disappointing, it's seen as failure. We allow it to define us. So we call ourselves names. We limit our capabilities of, okay, I'm not meant to be doing that. I need to retreat and go back to this other way of doing things. And we allow it to define us. And I will say, for anybody that's resonating with what I'm saying, you are so much bigger than that one activity or that one outcome. You are so much more than that. Don't allow that to define you. And don't beat yourself up and call yourself names.
Yeah.
If you look at that outcome of disappointment or failure from a perspective of growth and learning, so much good comes because you stepped up, because you had the courage, once again, to do what was uncomfortable instead of playing small, and let that lift you up instead of holding you back.
Yeah. Oh, well put. And you know what I love? One of my favorite things to do is when I actually make that goal and you take that roundabout way to get there, and you hit that goal and you look back and just like, oh, well, that didn't happen, so that could happen, and then that didn't happen, so this could happen, and this is why this went that way. And it's really just like, it's funny, I can't see that when I'm in it.
Yes. And when you're in it, it's not very pretty. It could be downright ugly at times. And so one of the things that I have recognized is that there's a breakdown before the breakthrough. The breakdown can be technology, it could be physical, it could be all the support that you have isn't following through and being dependable in some way.
Yeah.
Once I recognize that I'm in the breakdown, I know that there's a breakthrough coming on its heels, and I get excited instead of getting caught up in my own stuff.
Yeah.
So have that mindset shift of there's always a breakdown before this really amazing breakthrough opens up. And if you can look at it that way, it's just part of your process. Then you can have a shift in the perspective and really go with that flow and dig into it instead of resisting it.
Oh, very nice. And I'm going to be transparent here. Just like, I've had my own breakdowns, and no, they are not pretty. It's me sobbing and just like, why is this happening? I don't know what I'm going to do. And tears. But, I think for me, I have to have my crying time. Like, I have to cry. And then when I'm done, I'm like, oh, I feel better. Now I can see it the other end.
Absolutely. You know what? That was a conversation I had with one of my clients yesterday. She came into my office. Fortunately, she lives close by, so we were able to meet in person instead of virtually. And she came and immediately she started telling me about how one of her employees didn't show up for an important appointment, and that this other thing is going on with her landlord, and this other thing is happening with signage and all this other stuff. And I'm like, just move the tissue box right next to you. It's okay. claim the tissue box. It's good. And so what we were able to do is, once she was able to kind of put that stuff out there, we were able to start reframing how to be able to recognize that, yes, it all sucks right now, but this is her vision, and she's not quitting because all these things are happening and she feels overwhelmed at the moment. And how to be able to just get started with something right now to be able to shift it around and move forward. She had an action plan by the time our session was over, and she knew exactly what to be doing in order to really step up instead of getting caught up in the overwhelm.
Yeah, and this is such an important point, because there's so many people who don't have a mentor or don't realize how important it is, so that when you get to that breaking point, you don't quit and turn your back to it. You know,
Absolutely.
imagine your client, if she didn't have you, what would happen?
But that's also part of that dream team. Surround yourself with the people who can lift you up. I didn't rescue, and I didn't go, oh, poor baby, let me do this for you, let me hold your hand. That wasn't what our session was about. It was about, okay, this sucks, I get that. But stick with it, because there's this beautiful breakthrough that's going to happen on the other side once we're able to clear some of this clutter.
Yeah. Well, I can already tell right now there's going to be somebody watching this who's just like, I was so close to quitting. And then I heard this interview.
Absolutely. That's why I know that we were supposed to be talking together today, Danielle, and totally going with the flow and taking your lead.
Yeah, I'm very much an organic interview style, because I can get animated. But that was such a golden little nugget. I just feel that somebody's going to take this and just like, okay, there's possibilities. I'm at this, and I'm going to go through, and next week's going to be awesome. Or tomorrow is going to be awesome. So I'm looking at the time. I'm trying to be really good with the time, and I know you have a fabulous gift for us. Would you mind telling us more about that?
Absolutely. It is my free book on how to really be able to grow your ideal business. And what it does is it takes you even deeper into the 5 steps that we talked about. It gets you started on crafting your vision and going beyond goals, because for mission, growth-minded entrepreneurs, goals are not what work. It's really that vision that inspires you, the vision of Gandhi, the vision of Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy, really great people. So how do you start to craft your vision? Then it looks at how you can begin to clear the clutter. Where are you getting in your own way, and how to be able to change your perspective about something so you're stepping up as opposed to playing small. It goes into the fact that, yes, confidence is overrated, and being able to tap into your courage to move forward instead of getting caught up in the fact that you lack confidence. Looking at how to control your agenda so that you're really being effective, as opposed to spending a lot of times on things that aren't going to really advance your business or help serve your clients. And lastly, how to be able to create that dream team. Who are the people that you ought to be surrounding yourself with, and where you can begin to find them. So that is my free book, is how to grow your ideal business, and those 5 steps that you can really start to move forward right now. And that's at businesssuccesssolution.com/success.
Awesome. And we'll have the link for her gift right below this interview, guys. So don't worry, it'll be there. And I really encourage you guys to grab this, especially if you are resonating and you're at that place. I think this is really going to help a lot of people. Thank you so much, Loren.
Oh, absolutely. Basically, if you're listening, I so much want you to succeed.
Oh, yeah.
And that it's fully, if you feel that there's something you're meant to be doing, there is a way to make it happen.
Beautiful. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on and speaking to our subscribers. And is there anything you want to leave us with?
Once again, I just want to say that success does not happen in a vacuum. Find the people who can help to lift you up to really achieve your bigger purpose in life, so that you're making a difference. And as you lift someone up, you're going to be able to take them along with you. So find that person
Yeah.
that's going to be able to help you to achieve your particular mission and purpose.
Oh yeah, that's gorgeous. I love it. So juicy, and it's true. The energy exchange that happens um, when people are supporting each other, and
Mm,
it's phenomenal. It really is. There's nothing like
absolutely.
it. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much. And folks, come back and watch an interview tomorrow. Another amazing expert. Thank you so much for joining us today. Bye, everyone.